I'll just do an intro, and then we'll literally just jump into it. It's going to be super chill.
Yeah, jump, I get it.
Oh, we're gonna stop it. Ready?
Can you put that in the intro? Can you put that, like, before you start?
You know what? What if this was the intro? What if we just start like this? Hello, everybody. Today we're talking about the Mario movie. Me and Kenny just saw it yesterday. Dylan, I assume the same for you. Yeah,
I saw it yesterday.
Okay, yeah. And yeah, we're hot off the heels of seeing this, and I am super excited to jump into this. Let's talk a little bit about the build-up to this movie. The trailers. I just gotta say this right now. Trailers did not do Chris Pratt justice. I'll say it right now. You know, Chris Pratt, not too bad.
Yeah, I was saying that today. Yeah. I actually was kind of shocked that I didn't mind him. I didn't think about his voice at all.
Yeah, I think after the first 5 minutes, you gotta
I think it's funny.
Yeah, what's up?
It's funny because in the trailers they put in all of those like Mario-y lines where he's like, all right, let's go, and like stuff like that. Yeah. But then in the movie, those weren't there.
Yeah,
like they only did that because people were, I guess, like wanting to hear that. But like it kind of made Chris Pratt's performance sound worse, like more forced.
Yeah, it sounded like he was forced.
Yeah. Real quick before we jump into it, actually I should preface this. This review will contain spoilers, so if you have not seen the movie yet, don't watch this review yet. I will say real quick, right before you leave though, it's a good movie. You're gonna enjoy it. It does a lot of things well, and I think you shouldn't listen to the critics. They don't know what they're talking about. So yeah, go see it. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. Eat some popcorn. Get a drink while you're at it. Subscribe. God, I'm lonely. Anyways.
Critics don't have the same metrics as fans because they see so many movies that like a lot of them must blend together. And
yeah,
one thing about this movie, I understand why the critics are giving it low ratings, because it's not like super special outside of the Mario stuff. Like it's nothing really that unique for as much as I enjoyed my time with it.
Yeah, I'll just give my overall take right before we jump into it more in detail. I'll just say this. What this movie does what any fan of any particular series would want. For example, I'm a huge Sonic fan, right? We have a Sonic movie. But there's definitely a lot of stuff in the Sonic movies that isn't catered toward our fans. Mario almost does, well, the Sonic movie does. I just want to I could already see the comments. The Sonic movie does. But the Mario movie is all in on that. And people that say haven't played the games can feel alienated with this movie, which could be the movie's detriment, I will admit. But look, the people that are going to see the Mario movie are people that played Mario games. If you went to go see the Mario movie and you know nothing about Mario, then that's your own fault. You know, like why are you going to the Mario movie? I don't get this whole argument with critics where they're like, every movie needs to be accessible to everyone. No. Is every book accessible to everyone? Is every series accessible to everyone? No. It's if you like Mario, you go watch the Mario movie. Yeah. That's how it works.
Exactly.
If you want to try to get into Mario, yeah, you could try to get into the movie, but if there's something you don't know, don't get mad. You know?
Yeah.
But anyways.
I feel like it's more just, you might be confused because Mario is a very strange franchise.
Yeah.
But it's easy enough to keep up with. Like, there's not really anything unexplainable.
It's funny because Dylan, you were joining me on my journey through my Mario marathon on my channel a few years ago, where I played through every single mainline Mario game. And by the way, chat, I know someone's gonna be like, "Are you still doing that?" I just need to play through Odyssey or finish Odyssey. Sometime we'll do that sometime when they announce the next Mario game. But anyways, but no, soon. Even before I played the Mario games, it's not hard to know who Mario is, who's Donkey Kong, who's Luigi.
Yeah, I mean they're some
Bowser.
of the most recognizable characters in the world.
4 decades, everyone knows. Unless you're a little child, everyone knows, and even then, kids won't care. Now let's jump into the movie itself. Let's start from the beginning, right?
Well, it starts with Bowser. He does the scene from the original trailer where he burns down the ice castle and grabs the star.
He goes against Pablo from Backyardigans. Yeah, he gets really good.
Yeah, he gets the power star, which I admire this game. Wow. Well, there you go. My point exactly. I admire this movie being so close to the games where it just kicks off like that.
It is very game-like.
And it doesn't have to give, this is the power star. It gives you the power to blank, 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 blank. Its history starts here. This is a penguin. Let's tell you where it came from. You throw it off the edge of 64. Like, no, they don't have to explain. Jump right in. You jump right in. You love these characters. If you don't know them, you could still enjoy it. And we'll go further into detail with the animations, all that after the story. But anyways, yeah. So after that scene, yeah, we get the Super Mario Super Show intro.
Yeah, with the Mario Brothers and Clemens again.
I'm really surprised.
Love it.
Nintendo has allowed that. I'm surprised. Color me surprised. Nintendo has been a company that has been very much like really good at making games, right? No argument there. But when it comes to like literally anything else, they're literally the no fun allowed meme in company form.
They kind of are, yeah.
So I'm surprised they referenced it, but they did, and it's awesome. We saw this during the Super Bowl. It's the Super Bowl commercial. So yeah, great job doing that. And we see like Mario and Luigi. They're just regular plumbers trying to make a living. And this is where like the tone of the movie is set, and it's so funny. And what I really love about the scene is it really shows Mario and Luigi's dynamic together. Their brotherly love, Luigi just being scared of the dog, and Mario and them fighting in the bathroom.
The dog scene's so good.
It's so
I love that scene.
Funny. I want to point out right away, though, and I'm speaking as a Sonic fan, I'm so jealous of this movie because it gets, because here's the thing.
I know, right?
Here's the thing. Every video game movie thus far, including Sonic, both movies, always has that thing that takes you out of it. That thing, and that thing for Sonic is the fact that it's live action, right? And I mentioned this a long time ago. I'd much rather preferred an all animation movie than a live action one, because with live action, they had to change Sonic's character design and all that stuff. With the animation, you know how they made Mario and Luigi like look like they're humans in the human world? Well, they made the other humans look like Mario and Luigi. Oh wow, that's a really good idea. That's actually an amazing idea. Like it reminded me of Sonic Unleashed, and I was so jealous. I'm like, that they did it right. They did it right.
I absolutely love, like, right at the beginning, right? They show the commercial and they're watching it in the diner.
Yeah.
And then they get up and, like you were just saying, this is a movie for the fans, like, purely. That is their first intention. Because there are characters like
Jumpman.
Foreman Spike from Wrecking Crew in this movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, why is he here for 2 lines of the entire movie? Like, I'm glad he is.
Yeah.
I actually probably would have... I think... I'm going to throw this out here before we get too much farther into this, but I think this movie should have been longer. I think it is way too fast-paced at some parts, and it kind of ruins it.
Definitely, yeah. And I do have way more to say about that after we cover the story.
Yeah,
absolutely, yes.
Like, for as much as I like the more Mario fantasy elements of things, I think at this point it would have been probably cool to have a longer intro before they get to the Mushroom Kingdom, and I think the best way they could have done that was show them working with Foreman Spike, show them quitting, and then, show the process of them building up the plumbing service and not getting any business to the point where they filmed the trailer and or the commercial. And that could have been like a good thing, because now it shows, okay, these guys are the underdogs, and their family is not super... They don't think that they're gonna get it, I guess, like most of them. Like, their mom is always supportive, but everyone else in their family thinks they're crazy for ditching a perfectly good job that they had.
Right.
And that gets hammered in really quickly.
Yeah, and that's
very, very effective.
That's something I really want to cover, too, is... So yeah, that's something you'll notice right out of the gate, is... It's almost like the acceleration, like someone's hitting a gas pedal, and it just slowly starts to go down more and more and more. And it gets to a point where we're going so fast. But yeah, I do agree with the intro. What I do love about the intro, though, is, you literally have, like, Jumpman in the beginning, where it's Charles Martinet.
That was Charles Martinet.
Giving a seal of approval to Chris Pratt, which I almost want to say that was made in response to after the trailer. Like, that was the last thing they made before the movie kicked off. Fair game, though. It was funny.
Because I'm pretty sure that I don't know, these characters don't have names, but I'm pretty sure Papa Mario is also Charles Martinet.
Yeah, I do believe so.
I think so.
Yeah. But yeah, that's something I do want to cover. The family. Mario has a family, and they has a big family apparently.
Yeah.
We'll never see their faces again. Probably. Like, I don't know.
In Mario 2, maybe.
I said this with the Sonic movie. It felt weird. You know, it was a bit heartwarming, but it felt weird when Sonic referred to Tom as his dad, right? You know, you never think about this, right? You never think about Longclaw or Sonic needing a mother figure, right? I felt the same way with Mario a little bit. It's always strange when I see these characters that the lore never goes that deep, and I don't think it was ever designed to go that deep.
Well, they did have parents that were seen in a game once. You see their hands at the end of Yoshi's Island.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because they get dropped off by the stork.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Sorry, I actually have one thing about this that I forgot to mention in the video I did. But it was something I noticed. The beginning of this movie is actually pretty similar to the old Super Mario Bros. Movie, the live-action one.
Yeah.
Because Mario and Luigi are in the van, and, I mean, then they leave the van because it malfunctions.
Yeah.
But they're on their way to a plumbing job, they can take a shortcut, and they don't meet the princess in the real world, but then very quickly they head down underground because there's something going on with the waters, and that's where they get pushed into the Mushroom Kingdom. Yeah. And I was thinking about the original movie the whole time because it's very similar.
It is really similar.
It's so I'm very surprised that they clearly took notes from what that movie did right, and I actually appreciate that. Exactly. And they Brooklyn's flooding. They try to fix it. They get sent into the Mushroom Kingdom, and I won't lie. I hated that Luigi was separated the whole movie because Mario and Luigi together in that intro was probably one of my favorite parts of the movie. Their dynamic and just seeing them like...
And later on, too.
Yeah, and I was like, oh man, I really wish he was there for the whole trip. Yeah. I think they could have gotten away with it too, but we'll go more into that when we go into the story.
It's funny because it's not the Super Mario Brothers movie because it's about both of them. It's the Super Mario Bros. Movie because they wanted to use the full title of the game.
Yeah.
Like, Luigi has a severely decreased screen time than what he should have had.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really, really hate that because he was really great.
I think he shouldn't have been I think he shouldn't have been captured so early into the movie.
Right.
It would have been cool to see Luigi, like, going back and forth between Mario and Luigi, and then at the end he gets captured, like, right before. Like, I was expecting when he was brought to, like, a part of the movie when he was, like, brought to Bowser eventually. I would have loved to see it, like, more at the end where they think that's Mario, but it's actually Luigi. You know what I mean?
Oh, that would have been good.
I thought that's what they were going to do, was he was going to think that was Mario, but it was Luigi.
I was also thinking, like, if you kept them both together for longer, you could have had them both end up in the Mushroom Kingdom and then, like, be appreciated by the Toads and stuff. Like, have them, like, wow, the people here don't make fun of us. They all think we're cool, stuff like that. And, like, when they get used to it and they're like, hey, maybe we should stay here because it's so great, that's when you get Luigi captured, because then it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, we let our guards down, like, we didn't know this place was dangerous, stuff like that.
Yeah. The one thing that kind of makes me appreciate that they were separated was so we didn't have that, like, common movie trope where, like, Mario and Luigi maybe got into a disagreement and then they separate. I was really worried that's what was gonna happen, to be completely honest.
Yeah, they didn't actually have that in this movie.
I'm so glad.
Points for this movie.
Which is great.
I would say. No characters have that.
So yeah, Luigi, gets captured, separated. And just as soon as Mario gets launched into this world, he meets Toad. And this is where I even turned to Kenny and I was like, just like that? Like, we're going... Yeah. So, like, literally, like, he meets Toad almost immediately. He's like, oh, we gotta go see the princess. And they just go. They're just going to the princess already. And they're like, she's like, up the hill.
I noticed that, like, with all the trailers, they basically showed the first 15 minutes of the movie.
Yes.
They did. That pisses me off.
It was like, I felt like when I was watching it, I'm like, I already know all this. Which I kind of like, though, because I did not know where the story was going at all.
Because you would think, based on the trailers, that most of the movie would have been the journey to get to Princess Peach, but no, that's 5 minutes.
It's not. I like that, though.
So around this time, you know, by coincidence, like we mentioned in the beginning, Bowser found a power star, and he's on his way to the Mushroom Kingdom. And this is just by coincidence the time Mario comes into the world. So he's trying to, you know, meet with Peach.
He's bored.
Because Toad says, you know, Peach will be able to figure out what to do, you know, to get Luigi back. You know. And one thing I do love, though, as we run through this magical world to get to Peach, is that the world doesn't make sense. And that's okay. I always have this pet peeve with video game movies where they feel like they have to explain every single thing. Where, like, something as simple as a floating block in video games, you, like, have to be explained, right? But in this movie, it's like, no. You acknowledge, well, this is
these blocks are just floating here?
And that's it. That's all you got. No one cares. And that's great. Yeah. I love this
the Mushroom
movie.
Kingdom Society.
Yeah,
it's so much fun.
This movie broke that need for directors to have to explain everything, where these came from, why they're here, why they're like this, what they, it's like, dude, they're just how they are. This is a power up, you get stronger. This is a block, you punch it. This is a platform, you go in it. This is a tube, you go through it, and you get launched somewhere else. Perfect. That's all we need to know. Like, it catches people up to speed, and it allows the universe to breathe without feeling like it's needs a whole origin story first, you know? It allows us to just jump right in. We don't need to wait for movie 2. We get to jump right in. And yeah, so they go through this town with a bunch of toads.
Toad Town.
Keegan-Michael Key's killing it with Toad, by the way. And that also goes for Charlie Day with Luigi. Doing an amazing job. And then, so Peach and Mario meet, and almost immediately, like within like 2 minutes, you know, they agree, we'll work together. And then there's a training montage. And this is where I was really like, wow, we are flying right now. Like, absolutely flying. Like, we just got to this world. He already got to Peach. She already trusts him. And we're already, like, training for this big showdown. Don't get like the dialogue between Mario and Peach is super funny.
Yeah, it was perfect.
This is definitely
they're great.
Yeah, but this is definitely where the pacing. I'm like, whoa, we're going. It's faster than Sonic.
Way too fast.
Yeah, it's a fast.
It really is. Like I like a lot of what happens, but it's funny because it's like you were just saying, Kenny. Like we kind of saw everything from that first chunk.
Yeah.
And then we have this very fast scene of Peach meeting with the Toads and then leaving and meeting Mario. And then it's right back to footage that they showed before the movie came out again. Yeah. Like with Peach doing the obstacle course.
Yeah.
And Mario doing it. They also showed that off in some trailers, I think. Yeah,
and this also shows, and I guess I'll mention, this is where I could tie it back into Luigi. This is where you can see that Peach is definitely not the Peach from the games, at least the older games. This Peach is very capable of handling herself. Absolutely destroys the obstacle
it depends
course.
On where you're drawing from, I guess.
And,
like, there's some place, like, you know, she was playable as early as Mario 2.
2, right.
The USA.
The Doki Doki.
And that's where the floating comes from. Like, that's, like, one of her defining powers.
Yeah.
Then there's a very long time in between her getting, like, a legitimate playable role, I think.
Yeah, I was saying yesterday, like, when we were talking about it on the ride back home, I was saying, like, what game is she playable in again? Isn't it, like, 3D World or something? You can, like, play as her the entire
World.
Game? Or not 3D
World,
sorry.
Mario 2.
Yeah, like, there are games, though.
Super Princess Peach is a
Yeah.
big one.
She's playable in a lot of games. That's why I was like, I'm not really shocked that they went the way they did with Peach, but...
Yeah. It's like it's interesting because there are things that you can take from the games. Like, you know, she's like the epitome of like royalty. She behaves very princess-like. And like, you know, they could have taken something like that, but that's not enough. You know, like what they did is they completely threw everything out almost and went with portrayals sort of like in the Super Mario Bros. Adventures graphic novel. She is very similar to how she is in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But they're still, like, they probably could have used a little bit more of her characteristics from the game too, and like it would have made it like a good juxtaposition because she's this badass, but also, well, then she would just kind of be Princess Fiona from Shrek.
So this is
that's
my
fine.
thoughts. This is my thoughts on everything, right? I feel like we could have got the best of both worlds here. So I really do wish early on, right, Luigi and Mario don't get separated. They go to the castle to find Peach to figure out what's going on, because everyone's freaking out about Bowser coming. And then maybe at this point, Peach is captured by Bowser, right? To get him to marry him. And then the movie would be Mario and Luigi, because I love their dynamic, going to save the princess. And then still at the end, with the wedding scene, Peach could still have her badass moment where she handles business, and she was just waiting for her moment to strike.
Yeah, it's all part of her plan.
Yeah, I feel like we would have got the best of both worlds here. But instead, like, Peach is never in danger at all, ever, in this movie. Luigi is in danger more than Peach. And that's, like, it's bizarre. Is it, like, oh, this is all wrong? It's like, no, I don't really care, to be honest with you, but because...
Luigi was, like, 4 seconds from being dipped in fondue.
Yeah, it's only because I loved the dynamic between Mario and Luigi so much. I wish there was a way we got more of that, and I feel like if they took that route, they definitely could have been able to fit that in. Also had their Peach, taking care of herself moment. But it's like, yeah, they really wanted Peach to be in the forefront. Okay, fair enough.
Thinking about it now, how Peach and Mario have this movie to, hang out and get used to each other. I wonder if it was because, like, Luigi and Mario, we already know they have a very strong bond, and there's not really anything that's going to change with that.
Yeah.
So they put Luigi on the sidelines because that would be a big inspiration for Mario to go do this. And also it allows this new relationship to build because Mario is new to this place. So, like, I kind of see why they did that, because, like, having a new, like, dynamic form is good, especially for, like, a story. But also, I mean, like, having that static dynamic that Mario and Luigi already have is also good. It's just, I guess since they're setting up the world, they really wanted to...
Your cat.
So I don't know if you can hear my cat. He's alive. But yeah, no, I think I get it. But like, again, I would like to see more Mario and Luigi. So like next time, probably.
I feel like I would have gotten maybe a little tired of their dynamic though if I saw them the entire movie.
Well,
I think that's why I liked it so much. Is that Mario was so motivated to get back to Luigi. It showed how strong their bond was. I feel like you wouldn't even have to see them. They wouldn't have to be together throughout the entire movie to know how strong the dynamic is.
I think, like, at some point Luigi could have been captured by Bowser. Like, it didn't have to be through the whole movie, but definitely I wanted it longer.
Later on.
But so from there, after the training montage, they go to the Kong army because they need help because the Toads can't do anything.
The Kongs are so cool.
Yeah, that was the best part of the movie.
That was very funny. But it was also like, okay, maybe this is where the movie is. The journey to get to the... Nope, we're there. Okay. We're at... Literally, there was a moment where he was talking to Cranky Kong.
Cranky Kong?
Right. First off, I do want to say, the voice of Cranky Kong, I don't know if that's how he's supposed to sound, but I wasn't vibing with it. I don't know why. He sounded a little weird.
I don't think... In the cartoon, Donkey Kong Country, like, forever ago, he... sounded kind of crazy. Like, I'm not sure what the inspiration was, but also I always kind of just imagined him as an old man sound.
Yeah,
he's an old man.
That's my point. Yeah, it I feel like the voice.
But I mean, it's
didn't
okay.
fit.
It's whatever.
Yeah, I didn't worry too much about it, but definitely the voice was like that's like the only voice I think in this whole movie where I'm just like, that's not really the voice I would have thought that would come out of this guy. I would have thought it'd be older and crankier or crazier, But either or whatever.
It's weird. I was feeling that way with Luma Lee in the dungeon.
Oh my god!
Even though, like, I know Luma Lee's a Luma and they're cute, adorable little creatures, but for some reason, like the hyper specific baby voice just really got on my nerves. Like, I think it was funny, but like I didn't like listening to him.
Dark. It's so funny. Like, it's probably some of the most hilarious parts in this movie because I like humor that's like very dry. And
space is the darkest void of all.
In Galaxy, though, don't the Lumas have like really funny dialogue anyway? Like, I thought
they sound
like...
very high pitched, so I understand why they use that voice. It's just like it didn't, like, my ears didn't like it. That's probably like a me problem.
I'm not too worried about the voice. It's more so just like what's coming out of his mouth, like what he's saying. I'm like, why is he like this?
No, I loved that.
Why?
That was awesome.
It's funny, but it's like, why?
Yeah.
So they go to the Kong army. Almost he's like, you gotta beat my son, and then it fades to black, and then it comes back, and Mario's literally about to, I was like,
It's a commercial break.
We are flying through this movie. So then Mario beats up DK, using the cat power up, which, by the way, critics, was in the Mario games. Even I knew that. Stop complaining. He's not a furry. Yes.
Yeah, hold on. We are not gonna.
Yes.
We're not gonna just grasp over the Mario and DK fight because they bring back the DK rap.
I know.
And Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong.
Yeah.
And Funky Kong, I think, was the guy driving.
I think Chunky
Chunky was there. Yeah.
Funky might be around. I don't remember.
I think Funky was the one driving the car. But
it's really cool that they're introducing the Kongs, because I feel like there was a thing out there somewhere that was Nintendo wants to do a Donkey Kong movie too.
Okay, that's what I was saying. I was about to point this out.
I would watch it.
First off,
I would watch it.
I saw the Donkey Kong bongos in the crowd, which was great. But I want to mention.
I didn't see those.
That's exactly what that is, and I also want to point out why I feel like they didn't put Luigi next to Mario. I also feel like they want to do a Luigi's Mansion movie. They keep on Luigi holding that flashlight and dealing with those dry bones.
Dry bones. And,
it was. Yeah. I was like, oh my god! I actually want more of this. This would actually be cool, a Halloween special.
My plan would be Luigi and give him Toad as a sidekick.
Oh my god!
For that movie.
Yeah. But yeah, no, and that's exactly what it is. I definitely see a Donkey Kong movie in the future. But yeah, so during this, so after Mario beats DK, Luigi is getting interrogated by Bowser, because Bowser's like, there's a guy that beat him up, and he's a guy that looks just like you, and then he's asking his assistant, did she look impressed? It's
yes.
What?
Bowser wanting to marry Peach was the funniest plot twist. I did not expect. I really thought that they were gonna make Bowser this super evil. I mean, I should have known with Jack Black. When I heard Jack Black was gonna be Bowser, I was like, oh, I'm ready for this movie. That is what sold me. But I really was not. I was expecting him to be this really big, evil character. I was not expecting it to be yo, I want to marry Peach. So
that's
that
his
was
motivation occasionally.
I thought him getting the star was going to be for him to turn into Giga Bowser. That's what I thought he was going to go into. I mean, imagine how cool he would look in that animation. I seriously thought that's why. 2 times I thought that's how it was going to go.
That's a movie 3 type thing.
I mean, I guess, but again, I wasn't expecting it to be because I want Peach to marry me. I think that was the funniest scene in the movie, to be honest, was all the Koopas jamming out to Hard Rock. We also took our friend
Bowser's
with us.
Fury. Reference.
Oh yeah, that movie was Bowser's Fury music.
Yeah, fantastic.
Oh my god, my best friend went with us for the movie, and her and I kept on turning to each other every time the 2 Koopas were talking in that scene, and we couldn't breathe. That was literally the funniest scene.
Yeah.
What if she says no, and then he just destroys him? It's a funny thing.
He kills him.
So yeah,
it's funny. So the marrying thing, right? That's a plot point in Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
He's trying to marry her the entire time, and also in that graphic novel thing I mentioned, Super Mario Adventures, I believe that's his plan as well. That's been a thing recurring over the course of the series, but Nintendo didn't really play it up that much.
Yeah.
That was. And then I guess, with Odyssey, they were like, no, that's what he wants.
That's what I appreciate about this movie, is that you can tell that they did not take it seriously. I think that's the big thing, is that it was funny the entire time.
I think one of my favorite parts is when when Luigi is being interrogated by Bowser, and I think it's just to speak to the humor of it. This actually made me laugh out loud. How he was asking him questions, and then he was like, "Would you say princesses would find him attractive?" And Luigi's like, if they have good taste. And I was cackling.
Yeah.
Some of the writing in this movie is so funny.
Yeah, and Charlie Day's delivery in those really helped too.
Yeah.
But so Mario beats DK, interrogation happens. And then the Kong army agrees to help, right? They just start building cars, Mario Kart cars, which is really funny.
That part was so cool.
I love how they were able to tie in Mario Kart into this movie.
I love that it was
used the Mario Kart 8 kart builder.
It was the Mario Kart 7 type.
Yeah, Mario Kart 8.
Oh yeah, Mario Kart 8. Sorry. Yeah, no.
Well, actually, it had both of them.
Yeah, I like the fact that they got to build the cars. I thought that was just like, again, that's a thing like a critic
really
probably
cute.
isn't going to recognize as like a reference, but that was a really funny reference.
Yeah. And then, so they do this to cut off the Bowser's army, right? They're on Rainbow Road, which is iconic. Everyone should know what that is. No one should question, why are they driving on a rainbow? You know what it is.
Yeah.
And then, just as easily as they, just as fast as they do that, Bowser's army starts attacking, them on the cart. So we kind of have a little Mario Kart section with blue shell, which is really funny, green shells, bananas, all that. A lot of great stuff. And in the middle of this, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dylan, was that the Unagi?
Yeah. Yeah, basically. It's like the more modern design of it from Mario Odyssey.
It's so funny. I was like, Unagi?
They actually...
brought
that
him
thing... Seeing that onto... You know what? When this movie was, like, on the way to us, I was like, I want to see, like, something terrifying. Like, you make it the piano. Like, that could have been funny. I think Luigi encountering the piano in that castle could have been funny.
Yeah.
But, like... Mario encountering the Unagi from Mario 64 and, I think it's in New Super Mario Brothers and Odyssey, some other stuff like that. That, I was like, oh my god, that's so scary. Like, it's so big and intimidating. I hate it.
Yeah, it was such a treat to see, though. I really like that they did that, because I know that was, like, such a... Even back then in 64, that was, like, one of those, like, mysterious things you would see underwater, and it would creep people out. So I'm happy they, brought that in here. So during this time, Peach is like, crap, they're dead. Peach and Toad, they go back to the castle, trying to get everyone, to evacuate. Mario and Donkey Kong eventually escape using what I would assume is like the same method they use in Finding Nemo. with the whale.
I was just gonna say it's like Finding Nemo, but
it literally is.
There's also a really important scene before they get out of the eel where we realize that they both are trying to like be good enough for their fathers. So they kind of have like a very quick bonding moment.
That was great.
Yeah. And then I believe it was during this moment when Peach... Well, first off, Bowser comes. Peach and Toad like get ready to face off. This is where you have like the badass Peach really starting to shine here, right? Like about to take on Bowser 1v1, So they get captured by Bowser because Bowser's like, hey, if you don't marry me, I'm gonna kill everyone.
I'm gonna kill Toad. Goodbye.
Kill Toad, and So
yeah, that's effective bargaining.
Yeah. And it works. He gets her. They're about to get married. It's very quickly. The wedding was all ready to go.
Oh my god, the wedding.
He had them on standby 100%.
Yeah. And it was just so funny. You saw Bomb in the crowd there. A lot of references.
Oh, I screamed.
I also want to mention, before this too, like when they were on the journey to
King
like
Bomb, King
Peach,
Boo.
you saw like a bunch of Yoshis like in the world. Like it's great to see all these characters. And
floating pyramid from Mario Odyssey in the desert.
A lot of references. That's all throughout the movie. But so we're at the wedding scene. Peach saves herself. Like I guess as somewhere along the way, she got the
ice flower.
Ice power. Yeah, the ice flower.
Toad goes and picks her a bouquet and gets an ice flower, which I wasn't expecting to see in this movie.
Yeah, very interesting and smart. So we get the wedding scene. We get Peach just going badass mode, literally doing business. Disables Bowser, takes out everyone else, saves everyone, including Luigi and all that, which is like, oh my god. Like, is there anything you can't do?
Well, technically, no.
Well, I know, but Donkey Kong comes in, but I'm talking about right now before they come.
Okay,
like, she has it handled.
She keeps them safe for the moment.
Yeah, the only reason Bowser escapes is because when Mario does come, Bowser just gets really mad seeing Mario and Peach together, that he becomes enraged and melts the ice.
Yeah.
So
before that part, Bowser literally says, like, you're all invited to the wedding, or I think Kamek says where you're gonna be ritualistically sacrificed in the honor of the bride. And I feel like Peach could have been like, hey, those guys are included in the deal. Like, don't kill them. Like maybe that would have worked.
Yeah.
Throughout this whole movie, I just love Kamek. Am I saying that right?
Kamek or Magic Koopa. I don't know what they call him.
I call him Kamek. Kamek and Bowser, like that whole duo, it's just so funny, especially all the times. And Jack Black really shines here. Just him singing as Bowser.
Yeah.
It's just so funny, especially
Kamek
that
was
piano.
hilarious.
So, you know, Bowser escapes. We get like a Bullet Bill segment with the Tanuki suit, which is great. Where Mario literally pisses off the Bullet Bill. Bullet Bill starts chasing him instead rather than destroying the Mushroom Kingdom.
I didn't think it was actually alive. I thought it was just a big bullet.
No, he just decided to hit its eye. And then you get Mario and Bowser. Well, actually, sorry, I'm like shooting way ahead here.
You like the pace of the movie going really fast.
Yeah, sorry. Because I have some bullet points here. But yeah, so he stops the Mushroom Kingdom from being destroyed. And I mean, honestly, pretty much next we go to Brooklyn. That's what happens. We end up fighting in Brooklyn, which, you know, all of Bowser and his goons get teleported to Brooklyn as well. And you get this really cool fight scene that I really enjoyed this. And I also really
That actually also happened in the old Super Mario Bros. Movie. Mm-hmm. They all get teleported back to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, and it's so cool. Like, I really like this fight scene. It went on, and this is where, you know, so Luigi save, and this is where you have like their moment, right? Where they work together. Luigi is shielding Mario from Bowser's, you know, fire breath, and they both use the Power Star that Bowser got, and they just absolutely destroy everyone. And I love the music during this segment, and it's so great. It's such a great moment, a great ending to this movie. It felt like a final boss, like in the video games.
Yeah.
You know, Mario and Luigi, they're accepted from their family.
For everyone.
From everyone.
And even the dog. The dog.
And the dog.
Dogs supports them, basically.
And then, and then at the end of the day, we live happily ever after, where Mario and Luigi are living in the Mushroom Kingdom, which is great. It sets up a lot of stuff for the future. No need for any origin type stuff. They just go right in.
They're just there.
And then the end credit.
Origin's done.
I want to jump right into the end credit, because then at the end credit we see a Yoshi egg hatching, and I gotta be honest with you, I don't know what the point of that was. We already saw Yoshi in the world, so it's
We did.
I guess like, because what are they? So my question is, what are they teasing here? A Yoshi movie or Yoshi in the next movie? Either way, Yoshi's in here.
I mean, no, definitely a sequel, not like its own Yoshi movie. Because if you think of like, I know this is probably the worst Mario show, but this is actually the one I watched first. Was Super Mario World. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you remember Super Mario World, but in that, Yoshi
Blast from the past.
was found by Mario and went with them the entire time, up from when he was a baby.
Luigi.
That's what they're Mama Luigi. That's what I think that's what they're gonna do, is they're gonna find Yoshi as a baby,
right?
And then like go from there. That's what I thought it was. I was excited because I'm like, oh my god, Super Mario World.
I was a little underwhelmed with that scene because there were a lot of other. I thought it was gonna be Rosalina because the Lumas in the movie.
Yeah, I'll be really honest. I was disappointed too, and I said this in the theater because all I wanted, because my favorite Mario character of all time is Bowser Jr. I was really hoping, because remember, I don't know if you remember in the movie, but Bowser says, like, I was finally gonna be happy again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really hoping that at the end, he was going, like, I don't know how Bowser Jr. would just pop up.
The stork.
But I was hoping that
the stork is canon.
Yeah, just bring the stork, give him Bowser Jr., because then in the second movie, they could fight together.
Yeah.
Him and his little demon child could just fight Mario and Luigi. It would be great. That's what I thought it was going to be, because when it was Bowser playing the piano, I thought that was the full after credit. I was seriously imagining, like, oh my god, Bowser Jr., Bowser Jr., Bowser Jr., and I was really sad when it didn't happen.
It's just the thing, like Sam, you said it. I think like Yoshis were shown in the background earlier in the movie, so it's not that like I was like you're teasing something that was already in the movie, but then I was like, no, they have Yoshis in the background of the movie, and they're teasing like the Yoshi, like right. This is the one that Mario hangs out with.
Yeah,
like,
I just definitely think like
it's just not that big. It's not that big a deal.
I definitely wish like maybe instead we heard like a wah, like
Like, yeah,
I would
Wario.
like scream
Yeah.
in the theater.
That would have been like the ultimate one, right?
Yeah.
So,
But I don't know where they come from in this universe because, well, I mean, we don't know where they come from in the regular game universe either, but in this universe too, I think it'd be really weird if there were just like weird doppelgangers of Mario and Luigi from the real world.
right.
But I mean,
Yeah.
they could always do the whole thing because like Wario is sometimes seen as like, he was like he wants to be like the antithesis to Mario,
Right.
you know, so like maybe they see all Mario on TV and they're like,
Yeah.
we just gotta beat the shit out of these guys.
Well, here's the thing
Let's
with
go get
Yoshi
him.
at the end is he's clearly in the sewers, right? So like
Yeah, he's under Brooklyn.
yeah, so he's under Brooklyn. So when everyone was transported to Brooklyn for that fight, Yoshi probably was too, obviously. So it's like I have a feeling that Mario and Luigi are going to be in the Mushroom Kingdom. It's going to be great. And then all of a sudden they hear news about a dinosaur just living under Brooklyn, and that's how they find him.
Yeah.
But that would be a great way to introduce Yoshi. And then, yeah, when Mario and Luigi go to Brooklyn, suddenly they run into Wario and Waluigi, and it's really funny because it's like you got these two guys who want to be like doppelgangers, and then they have Yoshi as well. It just, yeah, they could go back to Brooklyn and be there for a good while.
I wonder like what they could do with this, because like having it be like, because teasing Yoshi doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna be like, hey, we're gonna go to Dinosaur Land and do Mario. Like, I wonder if it's just like they're gonna, you know, that episode, that episode of the Super Show where they find Yoshi. I feel like that could actually make for a pretty decent sequel movie where like they're trying to like maybe they have Yoshi and Bowser gets out and steals Yoshi or something, and like they need to,
yeah,
you know, like
there's
go
a lot
on.
they
Then
could
Mario,
do.
Luigi, and Peach go to get Yoshi back. I don't know.
Yeah, so let's real quickly go over, you know, what we like. So that's pretty much the movie. We went through the story. So we're going to give like our overall thoughts of everything. So first off, the animation, beautiful. Amazing job. This is probably one of the best looking Illumination movies like ever. Very, very good. The character designs, all amazing, all completely original, how they are to the games, how it should be. Amazing job. As I mentioned, the humans being in the world, following game logic, they did an amazing job. They didn't, you know, there's no uncanny valley in this movie. And I just also love that the world is just magical. It doesn't need explanation, right? Voice acting across the board. Chris Pratt, Charlie Day, Jack Black, amazing job. Especially Charlie Day and Jack Black. They steal the show. Keegan-Michael Key as Toad. Amazing job.
Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen, yeah, with his Donkey Kong laugh. He did it twice in the movie, and I love that. It was there. Seriously, everyone did an amazing job.
Yeah.
A lot of references for the fans, which is great. And, you know, there's no, as I mentioned before, there's no that scene moment in this movie. There's no that one scene where the movie just comes to a halt. There's no that scene like a wedding scene in Sonic Movie 2. There's no that scene where the character's sitting in a car.
I knew you were gonna say it.
There's no that scene that's just
The
so
character's
bizarre.
sitting in a car. They had a Mario Kart arc, Sam. What do
This
you mean?
is the first video game movie that doesn't have that scene.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy. No, I'm very happy. And honestly, you know, I'll just say
the
this.
Mortal Kombat movie where you got Sub-Zero in
Right.
the passenger seat.
I'll just say this though, as Sonic fans, we should be excited that this movie came out before Sonic Movie 3, because I genuinely hope they take some inspiration from this movie. And not necessarily,
especially with
not
the music.
everything. Yeah. And they use some of the game music, which is great. But now I want to go into the cons, right? First off, like we mentioned, the pacing, very fast. There's no time to really take a whole lot in. It's really like, we're going.
It's a mile a minute.
Yeah, very quickly. I think the best pacing this movie had was the beginning with Mario and Luigi. I just thought that part was really funny and really well done. I wish we had a little bit more of that. And yeah, speaking of Mario and Luigi, again, I really like their dynamic. I really wish they didn't get separated for as long as they were. But, you know, again, I'm hoping the future, whatever they decide to do, we get to see more of that, because Charlie Day and Chris Pratt, they were just magic working together. Peach not being captured, it's kind of like whatever, as I mentioned, but it does seem like an odd change considering everything else in this movie is so close to the games. But, you know, what they did works. And now my biggest critique. that I've saved for last. My biggest critique with this movie, and I've turned to Kenny at least 5 to 6 times in the theater with an eye roll, is the stupid 80s music they kept putting. It's fun. The reason why I'm eye rolling is because that's just my playlist on Spotify. I love 80s rock.
Every single song.
Yeah, no, I love the music that was in there. But it didn't need to be there.
Yeah, don't get me wrong.
They were fine
the
without
music was great. But every time it played, I'm just like, this feels so wrong.
Yeah.
Why? Because what made me frustrated is they were using video game music a lot of times, and I'm really happy about that, and I'm also really jealous because again, that's something I've.
It's like Koji Kondo back to back with like the like Mr. Blue Sky.
Yeah,
it's really. I mean, like it fits a little bit, some of it, but
yeah. Look, if they played like 1 or 2 times, sure, but. Whenever they played,
it felt forced.
The most hype I was in the theater was when I heard Bowser's Fury's metal music. I was like, oh my god, yes! when they played the victory theme when Peach reached the end at the obstacle course, every time they played music from the games, which is multiple times, I was so happy because it felt like I was really immersed in this world, and it was a new rendition. It was usually an orchestral version, and it was so great.
Amazing.
And as a Sonic fan, that's something I've been dying for them to do because they've been treating the music as Easter eggs in the Sonic movie, which pissed me off. Because it's like, why is it so hard to hear the drowning music in this movie? If you guys don't know, in the Sonic movie review, I talked about how there's no drowning music in the movie. Well, there is. It's just super hard to hear because they treat it like an Easter egg. It's like, why is it so hard? Why is it so hard? So this movie, they do it right with the music, but at the same time, go all in. Stop it. Stop it with this generic music. Go all in.
I wonder if that was a stipulation of Illumination or something, the same way that they want to shove like all the popular like actors into the slots instead of having Charles Martinet read lines.
I really don't know, but it's like, do they really have to like? It's all 80s music. Like this is old music. It's like, do we really like?
That's the thing with Illumination, though, is that they're.
The Mario did come out in the 80s.
And that's what I was going to say. That's
why the movie was like 1 hour and 30 minutes exactly, because they know that even though fans are watching it, they know that kids, the main target is kids.
Yeah, I know.
And they don't want to overplay. And I think that's why it was fast too. I think everything was fast because they realized that obviously fans are watching this, but it is a kids market.
Yeah, and I feel like that 80 music, to bring it up to you, is like,
Zoomer attention span.
For those people that played Jumpman in the 80s and haven't touched Mario since, and that's for them. But it's like, I just feel like the music isn't enough to garner someone interest. I just feel like, I don't know. The movie is for the fans. Just stick with the music. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's just a small nitpick. Like I mentioned, they could have had like 1 or 2 of those, but don't have 6. That's when it got really annoying. But yeah, no. Other than that, look, this movie did like, it's so easy to nitpick and to say, oh, they could have done this better. At the end of the day, this movie was fantastic. It did everything it needed to do, and it did it well. The things that weren't done so great is nitpicks, small things that and that's fantastic. And as a Sonic fan, I'm happy this movie's doing well. I'm happy it did well, and as a Mario fan too, I'm just really happy that he was represented well in the games. And again, it's another trend where video games can make good movies. We just need studios to do it well, treat it with respect, and they can make their money. So make the fans happy, you'll make everyone happy. That's the thing. Don't listen to critics. That's really my final thoughts. This movie is fantastic. Great movie. Go see it. Go support it.
I really am blown away by it, and also have all of those same problems that you talked about as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, from the point of view from a fan, please see this movie.
Right.
Yeah.
If you love Mario.
I'm not even a big fan at all of Mario itself. Like, growing up, I was like the Sonic kid, and then my brothers were like the Mario brothers. So like, I wasn't
plumbing's their game.
Plumbing is their game. But I never really liked Mario that much. So like, when I'm so shocked that like I walked out of the theater and I'm like, I want to watch this again, like as soon as possible.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see it again.
I think they did an amazing job. Yeah. So, but yeah,
I'm very
happy with this movie, and I think they did an amazing job. So with that said, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, Dylan, for joining. Thank you, Kenny, for joining.
Of course, sorry for talking over you.
Their links will be in the description.
Thanks, I had no choice. You're in my house.
I'm sorry. And yeah,
I'm also in his house.
Yes.
Yes, Dylan, come over.
I'm at
please.
Sam's house.
Oh,
Wait, what?
See you later, procrastinators.
Goodbye, procrastinators.